to go to work soon. I'm 15. I don't need a babysitter, Mom. Yes, you do. I'm not going to leave you by yourself. Okay, can I go to Grandpa's house? It's hot here. You can go if he wants you there. Let me call him and ask him, said Amy, and walked in the living room to get to the phone. She grabbed a cordless off of a couch and dialed her Grandpa's number. Hi, Grandpa, it's Amy. Hi, honey, how are you? I'm fine, Grandpa, thank you. Can I come over? Our air conditioner's broken. It's too hot today. Sure, honey. Thanks, Grandpa. I'm coming right over. Bye. Mommy said it's cool. Okay, I'll take you there in a few minutes. Sally got dressed and went to the kitchen. She opened up the refrigerator. Darn, we're out of soda. Amy, honey, I'm going to go get some soda from the store. Cool, I want some Slurpee. You got money to buy it? No, Mom, will you please buy me some Slurpee? I'll buy you some if you promise to be good. You know I'm a good girl. Sometimes. All right, let's go. Sally drove her red truck east on Washington Drive. She pulled in front of the convenience store and parked it. Sally and Amy went inside the store. It was cooler inside the store, so they were relieved. Amy headed toward the Slurpee machine, and Sally headed toward the cooler and picked up a 2-liter soda bottle. Amy, are you ready? Just a minute. Amy was still deciding what flavor to get. She finally picked up a strawberry flavor. A customer with a bottle of juice noticed Amy's beauty. He looked at her. He didn't say anything to her. She smiled, but he just stared at her. Amy's got pretty blue eyes and long red hair. She looked like an angel. She was distracted by the customer, so she looked for her mom, who was by the counter looking at some magazines. Amy walked over to her. Sally saw her and smiled at her daughter. Sally put a 2-liter soda, and Amy put a medium cup of Slurpee on the counter. Is that all? Asked the cashier. No, I need a pack of cigarettes and a quick pick lotto. The cashier rang the total in the CompuTouch computer register. Sally paid the cashier and left. Right behind Sally and Amy was the customer with a bottle of juice. He bought a bottle of a peach juice and a pack of cigarettes. He stared at Amy from the big glass window. Sally drove away. The customer went out and followed Sally's truck. Sally drove over to Washington Street to Amy's grandfather's house and dropped off Amy. Okay, honey, be good. Here, give me a kiss. Amy rang the doorbell. Arthur Hartfield, Amy's grandfather, opened the door. Amy, honey, come in. Arthur gave her a hug and a kiss. Arthur Hartfield was the father of Amy's father, Terence Hartfield. He has a Ph.D. in physics and is a professor at a university. He was tired of high school hoodlums smashing his mailbox, so he built a mailbox under the ground. With some engineering and physics, he designed the mailbox to be able to go underneath the ground and come up above the ground. Arthur pushed the switch for the door. Look, honey, my mailbox disappeared. Wow, how did you do that? He pushed the switch again, and slowly the mailbox came up. That is so cool, Grandpa. She played with the switch for a while. Where's Grandma? She went to the store to get some groceries. She'll be back any minute. Go ahead and watch some TV if you like, said Arthur, and headed toward his workroom. He turned on his computer and started to get into his calculation. His computer has 100 gigabytes of hardware. It is a complex system which has a geographical information system and a virtual reality system on it. He was awarded that computer by a National Physicist Association for designing a space car. What are you doing, Grandpa? I'm working on a space car that can travel up to Mars so that you and I can go to Mars someday. Wow, you are so smart and a sweet Grandpa, said Amy while hugging her grandfather. Thanks, sweetie, you're sweet yourself, said Arthur, and gave Amy a kiss on her cheek. Arthur went back to his calculations and geometry on a 3-dimension graphics. Amy watched him for a while till she lost her interest. Grandpa, can I go get my virtual reality game? Where? Just over the house. I can walk there. It's only a few blocks down. No, honey, wait till Grandma gets here, then she will take you there. That's all right, Grandpa. I can go there myself. I've done that many times. Please. All right, but be careful. Amy walked east on Washington Street. The customer from the convenience store was waiting there by the curb in his car. He saw Amy and got out of the car. Then he threw himself on the ground and moaned. Amy went near him to see what was wrong with him. Hey, mister, are you all right? No, I need my pills. Where are your pills, mister? It's in the glove compartment. Amy went in the car to look for his pills in the glove compartment. The man got up and took out a handkerchief filled with chloroform, a chemical that puts people unconscious. He grabbed her with his left hand from behind and put the handkerchief on her nose. She resisted, but she couldn't do much. Within a second, she became unconscious. He laid her down on the back seat and drove off. Arthur's wife, Dorothy, came back to the house. She talked to Arthur and understood that Amy had come and left to her home and hadn't been back after an hour. Dorothy tried to call Sally's house. The answering machine picked up, so she drove down to Sally's house. There was nobody there. She came back to the house and got mad at her husband for letting Amy go alone. Dorothy also had let Amy go alone sometimes to her house, but this time she was mad at her husband because Amy wasn't back. So she called Sally at her work to find out what was going on. "Hi, Sally, it's Dorothy." "Oh, Dorothy, how are you?" "I'm fine, thanks. Listen, you dropped Amy off, then she went back to your house to get her computer game. She didn't come back. So I went to your house to check to see if she was there, and she wasn't there. Do you know where she went?" "No, I don't know where she went. She's supposed to stay there with you all. I didn't call the babysitter today because our air conditioner broke on us, and it's very hot today. Maybe she went to her friend Jessica's apartment. They sometimes sneak out and go swimming at the apartment complex over at Lincoln and Washington. I'm going to spank that child. I better go look for her. What's her friend's apartment number?" "It's number 740. "Thanks, Dorothy. If she's not there, would you please call me?" "Sure." Dorothy went to look for Amy at Jessica's apartment. Jessica was there, but Jessica had not seen Amy that day. Then she walked over to the swimming pool behind the leasing office in the apartment complex. There were a bunch of kids swimming, but she didn't see Amy there. She drove around the block a few times and asked people around if they had seen a red-headed 15-year-old girl. Everybody shook their head, so she came back home and called Sally. "Hello, Sally. She's neither at Jessica's nor at the pool. I also looked and asked around. Does she have a boyfriend?" "No, not that I know of." "Where else could she be at?" "I don't know." "I think she's missing. We have to report it to the police," said Dorothy. "Oh, my God. Why? Why my Amy?" "I'm sorry, Sally. I'll call the police for you." "Thanks." Arlington police had already arrived when Sally got to Arthur's house. They were talking to Arthur and Dorothy. Sally ran over there. She was panicked and worried. "Could she have gone anywhere else, ma'am? Perhaps relatives or friends?" asked the police officer with a mustache. "No, we've checked everywhere," answered Dorothy. "Do you have a photograph of her?" Sally went through her purse. "Here it is. It was taken a few months ago." "She's a pretty girl. We'll search for her, ma'am." "Thank you."
Chapter 2. Investigation.
A guy rode on a black motorcycle on Highway 30, heading east. He wore a black leather jacket, black jeans, and a pair of black boots. He had a black helmet on. The rod of the motorcycle shone brightly.